NFL, right? That's a big day. Excited to be able to watch the second half of that Chiefs Lions game. Always fun to watch. Goff, always fun to watch. Patrick Mahomes. So start with that. Really can't wait for the opportunity this weekend. Head down to Starkville. Haven't been there in about 25 years. So it'll be good to be back down there. Certainly looking forward to the challenge. What a great challenge it's going to be. I know that our defense is certainly really excited about the chance to play this team and do everything they possibly can to continue the way they played last week. I thought they did a great job swarming the ball, playing with great effort, playing with great, really tenacity. So looking forward to seeing them. Expect everybody to be able to play on defense, Stooks being day-to-day, but everybody else should be all good there. We obviously know Gunner will miss the first half. Offensively, we know we got a great challenge ahead of us. I think Coach Arnett does as good a job as anybody in the country on defense. And we certainly know that it's a very difficult defense to attack. We had our worst game against them a year ago. I think we only had 316 yards or something to that effect. So we need to be much better there offensively. And then they provide a huge challenge in the kicking game. Their returners, both kickoff returner and punt returner, are elite. And we have to have our coverage units at the highest level. And then I saw that their kicker was the SEC Player of the Week. So clearly they made two 47 or 49-yard field goals. So I really believe that we're going into a great environment, a great SEC culture, and being able to bring our team there. Our guys are excited, ready, and willing for whatever's about to come our way.
Right. So you mentioned Stoops' availability. What about guys on the offensive line?
Yeah, I think the only one that's day-to-day will be R.J. Polito. Still working through that bike incident that we talked about. Everybody else is ready to go. Start. Depth chart won't change. Starting group will all be ready to play.
So it would be if he doesn't go, it'd be Sam?
Yeah, right now, if he doesn't go, we're working through a couple of combinations, whether that be Sam and Jonah, whether that be Jonah and Joe, whether that be Jonah and Leif. All three of those combinations are all working together right now if RJ won't be able to make it. But we probably looking at Joe Borjan and Jonah are a pretty good combination over there. They bring great size. And otherwise, it will end up, or we'll go with Jonah and Sam.
Well, Michael, so you guys had only 53 plays the other day. Acknowledge that it was a weird game in a lot of ways, but you also said that the clock rules had some influence on that. Moving forward, do those clock rules change anything that you do? Do they influence the way that call games, how much hurry up you use, et cetera?
Yeah, well, we had 53 plays, but we averaged 9 yards a play. So we were, I think, fifth in the country when it comes to yards per play, where we are after the week one. So I think we would have had more plays if we averaged less yards. I'd prefer to average more yards and have less plays. I would prefer to be explosive if we can be explosive and score fast if we can score fast. I don't know if you necessarily count on the quarterback having a 50-yard run, or I don't know if you count on some of the plays that occurred in that game. A blocked field goal for a touchdown took away an offensive possession, because the defense is out, then the offense is about to go out, but then you block a field goal, you score, the offense doesn't go out again. So there were some parts of the game, Michael, that I think is just a rarity and won't happen again, that I think you'll get back up to that 65 to 70 play range. So I'm on record of saying I have no problem. As long as the game was 3 hours and 11 minutes, which it was, that's what an NFL game averages, about 3:15, and I think that's what a college game should average as well.
Okay.
Jedd, is the reputation of the SEC as a league that has more, better, bigger linemen on both sides of the ball? Is that a thing for the league as a whole? A thing at the top of the league for the Georgias and the Alabamas and the LSUs? Or how do you guys look at it from West?
Sure. Well, first of all, I think that these guys are in the top of the league. They were 9-4 last year. They finished third in the SEC West. So I think they are in the upper echelon of SEC teams. I think that there is something. I made the comment a year or two ago about how you grow up eating will determine the size that you are. And if you're going to recruit a lot of California kids, they grow up with certain nutritions there in the cafeteria. That there's certain nutritional value of the vegetables and the things that they eat. They're not eating the same type of foods as they're eating in the South. And there's bigger guys in the South. There just is. And there's bigger guys in the Midwest. So you have to be able to recruit those areas if you're going to be able to be as big as they are. You're going to have to recruit, some of those guys in the Ohio, Michigan area to be able to bring in the big guys on your program. We have a really big team right now. We've recruited Hawaii and brought some big guys there. We've recruited Utah, brought in some big guys there. But if we're going to continue to be in that 315-pound, 6'4+ range of offensive and defensive linemen, you can see Bill Norton, one of our bigger players, was at Georgia, and he's from Tennessee. So we brought him over to us. So we've got to just continue to recognize that there is a difference in size. And I do think that, big players win. So we're working very hard to become a big team. But we also recognize that there's some skill that we have, and there's some, you got to play together and see how good of a unit you can be. But when you put Polito out there next to Jonah, next to Morgan, next to we're pretty big up front as we are on the defensive side.
When you look at Mississippi State and how they were able to run the ball last week, what makes them such an effective run offense compared to last year where it was more of a passing offense?
Well, the first thing is you make a commitment to it, right? They made a commitment to being more balanced and a commitment to running the ball more. That's where it starts, right? Coach Leach did not have that same commitment. His commitment was to move the ball. He used to always say balance was getting the ball into all the playmakers' hands, not balance of run pass. So that would be the first thing I would say. Second thing is schematically they've changed from a year ago or the years ago for as long as Coach Leach was calling the games, was that they've decided that they were going to be more two tight end sets. They were going to be more pin and pull. They were going to be more gap scheme. They were not afraid to run the football and bring guys across the formation and bring more size onto the field, not just spread it out and have four receivers out there with no tight ends. So I would just say it's more of a concerted effort. They're going to run the ball. They want to run the ball. They want to be more balanced. And you could see it from last week when they, I think, hit that 300-yard rushing mark.
Michael and then David. Noah has played 4 games since he's been here. I think all of those appearances have been in the fourth quarter. Games that were kind of decided at that point. There was that one play against Washington. But, Jaden did have to go to the tent at one point during the game. What's your comfort level with Noah if he had to go in for an extended period or at a point in the game where the game's still on?
Yeah, I would say every week my comfort level with Noah gets greater and greater and greater and greater. He is, he can run a practice, no problem. If we have to give Jaden a day off, no problem. He walks in there and he has incredible ability to communicate the play. He has a great ability to get in and out of a huddle. He can make all the throws. He knows exactly what we're getting defensively. I would say where Noah's continuing to grow is when you get into those scrimmage settings. As what does he do in training camp scrimmages or some of those other ones that, it's good on good, ones on ones. What does that look like? Where Jaden has so much experience. Jaden can make plays outside the framework of the play better than most. Jaden was one throw away from having his highest career QBR. I think he was at like 225 until he threw that one interception to end it and still finished 14th in the nation. So I would say I feel very comfortable with Noah. He knows the offense inside and out. The team feels very comfortable with Noah. He throws a very good ball, as we know. And the team is excited that we have both those quarterbacks at any given moment.
With David and then Brian.
Jedd, your DBs were much more physical than many we've seen patches across the board from Carter, Rice. What did you like about that? And what's that going to do overall?
Well, I loved everything about that. I want us to be as physical as possible. We're going to have to be extremely physical this week. Coach Nansen and Coach Cecil, Coach Aquina, and Coach Richardson have done a remarkable job of changing the mentality and the mindset of the defensive backs, that you go in there and you hit every play, and you're not afraid to trigger, and you're not afraid to be aggressive, and you get after the runner, you get after the ball carrier, you get closer in coverage to be able to make those bang bang plays when it's when you're one-on-one situation. And I give the credit to those guys in terms of really locking in that mindset of physicality. And the more physical we can be as defensive backs, the better we'll be. That's a Seattle Seahawk trait of years ago when they were the Legion of Boom. And we would love to get to somewhere close to that mentality.
Brian?
Are there any concerns with the travel and body clocks and jet lag, time difference, anything like that?
Yeah, we're just staying on Arizona time. So we won't change our clocks. We'll play at 4:37. And we'll treat it just like we're playing USC last year at 4:30. So nothing will change for us, and nor will our clocks. So our entire itinerary will be based on Arizona time. And just like we practice at 4 o'clock every day, we'll be playing the game at 4:30. So it'll be right in our wheelhouse.
Is it almost like this is, as much as you don't want to look ahead to next year, a preview for the Big 12, where you're going to be leaving time zones more often?
Did you talk to my wife about this? She asked me the exact same question last night. No, she said the same thing, that you're going to be traveling to Texas and you'll have a 2-hour time difference, and you'll have some of these time differences. And is this just an opportunity to see what it's like? Yeah, I think it certainly is a preview. I didn't give it much thought in regards to that. Really, I've looked at it as I've been in the NFL where you travel constantly and, going through time zones. So I've been on some staff, so we've just never changed the time. I thought that was the most successful way to do it. So that's the way we're going to do it, that we're just going to live off of our body clock. It's only a 1-day trip. If we were taking a 2-day trip, we would change the clock and, make decisions on that. But by the way we're doing it, we just are keeping Friday exactly Friday, Saturday exactly Saturday, and not worrying about anything other than kicking off at 4:37.
Okay, that's our time.
Thank you.
When you